Imagine moving into a beautiful, sprawling farmhouse in the countryside, your dream home. But then, you slowly discover you are not alone. There are shadows that dance in the hallways when no one is there, voices that whisper your name from empty rooms, and a cold, heavy presence that seems to want your family destroyed. This isn't just a campfire story. This is the real-life account of the Perron Family Haunting, the chilling case that inspired the blockbuster movie, The Conjuring. But was it truly a terrifying battle with demonic forces, a family tormented by a vengeful witch's spirit? Or was it something else entirely? The powerful collective imagination of a family under immense stress fueled by local folklore. Our story begins in 1971. Roger and Carolyn Perron, along with their 5 young daughters, moved into a historic farmhouse in the quiet town of Harrisville, Rhode Island. The house was a classic piece of colonial New England, dating all the way back to the 1700s, full of charm and history. But almost immediately after they settled in, the family began reporting strange, unsettling activity. At first, it was small, easily dismissible things. A broomstick would suddenly fall over in the corner. Doors they had just closed would creak open on their own. They'd hear odd noises in the dead of night. Scrapes, knocks, and what sounded like faint whispers carried on the drafts of the old house. The girls would complain of their beds shaking. It was spooky, sure, but in a creaky old house you expect a few bumps in the night. But soon the activity escalated from strange to truly frightening. The Perron daughters started claiming to see ghostly figures wandering the halls, apparitions of people who weren't there. The air would grow cold in an instant, and a foul, rotting smell would linger in certain rooms for no reason. Carolyn, the mother, reported the most terrifying experiences. She said she once woke in the middle of the night to find a woman with a hideously broken neck hanging over her, watching her sleep, her face filled with malice. The feeling of being watched became constant. The family came to believe the source of this terror was the spirit of a woman named Bathsheba Sherman. According to local legend, Bathsheba was a woman who had lived on the property in the 1800s and was rumored to have practiced witchcraft. The stories whispered that she had sacrificed her own infant to Satan and cursed the land. The Perrons became convinced that this malevolent spirit had targeted Carolyn specifically, tormenting her, physically assaulting her, and trying to possess her to drive her to harm her own children. The haunting grew so intense, so unbearable, that the desperate family finally called in the famous paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. After arriving at the farmhouse, Lorraine, a self-proclaimed clairvoyant, immediately declared that the house was infested with dark, inhuman forces. The Warrens conducted multiple investigations and cleansing rituals, attempting to drive out the entity they believed was Bathsheba. This is the version of the story we all know, the one that paints a terrifying picture of a family under supernatural siege. But what if there's another story? Skeptics see a completely different truth. They point out that in Harrisville, many longtime residents and local historians say Bathsheba Sherman was never a witch. She was simply a local woman, a mother who tragically lost a child, who was unfairly vilified after her death, her name tarnished by gossip and rumor. Official town records show no evidence that she ever harmed anyone, let alone murdered children as the legends suggest. So where did the haunting come from? Historians and skeptics argue that the Perrons' experiences could be explained by entirely natural phenomena. The drafts in a 200-year-old house, the natural creaking and settling of old wood, and the powerful, suggestive nature of fear itself. Once a scary story takes root, every unexplained noise can seem like proof. Critics also point out that Ed and Lorraine Warren were not just investigators, they were skilled storytellers. They had a flair for the dramatic and sometimes exaggerated cases for publicity and to build their brand. While there's no doubt the Perron family genuinely believed something dark and terrifying was happening to them, skeptics propose other psychological explanations. Could it have been episodes of sleep paralysis, which can create vivid and terrifying hallucinations? Or perhaps a case of shared hysteria, where fear and suggestion spread like a virus through the tightly knit family unit? So, we are left with two parallel truths, running side by side, never quite meeting. On one hand, you have the chilling account of the Perron family, who believe they endured one of the darkest and most violent hauntings in American history, a relentless assault by a demonic entity. On the other, you have the story of a family who, caught in the grip of fear and folklore, may have become the unwitting subjects of a ghost story that spiraled out of control, eventually becoming fodder for Hollywood's imagination. Today, that same farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island, still stands. It continues to attract paranormal investigators and curious thrill seekers from all around the world, each hoping to find their own answers. Some visitors claim the air is still heavy, that the spirits remain, and they leave with stories of their own. Others visit and experience nothing at all. Was the Perron case a true documented haunting, or was it simply the perfect ghost story that grew into a legend and then a blockbuster? The real truth remains hidden within those old walls. Which do you believe? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to explore more stories with two sides to the truth, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next investigation. Thanks for watching.